John Macaroon here. Early Detroit Lions rookie minicamp takeaways. I was there at Allen Park. Got a chance to speak with a couple of the Detroit Lions rookies as they walked off the field and had a chance to talk to reporters for the first time. They completed their first rookie minicamp practice. Here's what I saw. It was obviously a situation in which there was not a quarterback there that is going to make the roster, tryout quarterback. So you do get a sense that, okay, this offense that is going to add a couple pieces, I think they got some good ones. Look, Isaac Tesla got some work in early and often, and you get a chance to see what he's about. Ahmad Hassanian get a chance, our first look at what he can do in individual drills and how he has command of the calls and what he can do. I thought that there were a couple of standouts that were players that not many people are talking about. So I had a chance to go out there to Allen Park, and I thought that, okay, it was exciting, nice weather day. You get a chance to see early on. I think what many people were interested in paying attention to was where were the offensive linemen going to line up, and a little bit of a surprise, but not too much at not too much in regards to where. But early on, we saw Tate Ratledge get some snaps at center, and yeah, most people kind of put him in already at the guard position, but now you get a chance to see maybe, with the cross training, they want to get a sense of how can one of the top draft picks, second rounder Tate Ratledge, what he can do. And I thought that, okay, when you look at a player of his stature, I do think that one of the reasons why some of the Lions get targeted is their versatility. And I do think that Ratledge could play both guard positions and play at center as well. I do think that getting some training and getting an opportunity there gives the Lions options should something happen to Frank Ragnow. Again, I don't want to put out there that anything's going to happen to Frank Ragnow, but seeing Ratledge at center and right guard early on was interesting, as well as Miles Frazier, seeing him on the right side as well. Got a chance to see Mason Miller on the right side playing right tackle. You're getting a sense of a bigger offensive lineman that can do a bunch of different things. So he stood out there too because of his size. But, I do think that early on, one of the early assessments people are making is that I think the offensive linemen, Miles Frazier and Tate Ratledge, have the ability to compete for playing time pretty early. Many people do think that the linemen that the Lions got pretty bright, can acclimate pretty quickly. And so seeing Ratledge early on and what he can accomplish will be interesting as we progress throughout the next couple of weeks. And we'll have an opportunity in a couple of weeks for to attend OTA practices and to get more of a sense of kind of where Tate Ratledge is at. But to see him at center, something to note as he continues to cross train. But again, a lot of these linemen that the Lions select, they want them to be versatile, have opportunities to play at different spots. And the competition when training camp happens is going to be very interesting. A name that stood out was a defensive end, Keith Cooper. I thought that his size kind of made him stand out there along the defensive line. You look at the defensive line and you say, okay, is there room for a standout? Camp Darling, 6'5", 280 pounds. He was making the case early on in terms of his pass rush. You kind of see, you jot his number down a couple times early. And so the interesting note at first was we saw Tyleik Williams kind of get a couple reps in a team period. But then when it was time to break down and head to individual drills and to see a little bit about his fundamentals and things like that, he went off to the side. He did not participate in a heavy portion of his first rookie minicamp practice. And he clarified that it was not due to any lingering issue. It's that Ohio State had a long season and it's a maintenance decision by the Detroit Lions to have him limited. But we did see him work a little bit on the Matt Patricia Hill. So we didn't get a chance to get the full experience of seeing the first pick, but we got a chance to talk to him, and we'll recap what he said and at Lions on SI. But the two players that stood out to me that people want to know about were clearly Isaac Tesla. I thought that he got a bulk of the workload. He got targeted in 7-on-7s, and he showcased, okay, for a man of his size and stature, if you're going to put a 5'10" corner on him, there's going to be a clear mismatch. And any quarterback, whether it be a tryout or somebody that's a veteran like Jared Goff, if he's out there and a over 6'2" wide receiver is targeting and matching up against a 5'10", 5'11" corner, there's going to be some mismatches. And you saw that he was able to really showcase what he's about in terms of his size, ranginess, athleticism. Now, the thing that most people and the coaching staff are talking about is that he's got to continue to develop his route running and ability to beat press man coverage. So what everyone's going to look forward to is when the opportunity presents itself, maybe for DJ Reed to match up against Isaac TeSlaa in certain matchups, or or Tyrion Arnold or Ennis Rakestraw. It'll be great to see the upper level competition that how TeSlaa handles himself. But he acclimated well, and he got plenty of the targets. There weren't a lot of passes held on during the walkthrough. We didn't get a chance to see. It was a lot of run plays called. But once the 7-on-7 period hit, it was the TeSlaa show early on, and he was targeted quite a bit, and he was quite productive. And he definitely has a great personality, and he's got a chip on his shoulder because the Lions did invest multiple draft picks. He's now got to work extra hard to prove the Detroit Lions correct. So he was as advertised. He's the size. He's certainly somebody that can be a presence there. And then the other player that everyone wanted to look at and observe was Ahmad Hassanian. And I did think that, early on, his size and stature, maybe just a little bit undersized compared to most prototypical defensive ends. But you see right away a player that's come in ready to work, ready with the right mindset, seeing that he can get the calls and pointing out things rather quickly. It seemed like his awareness of the position is already at the spot where you can be, okay, it's a good starting point. For Ahmed, I do think that it's going to take time to develop at the position, still raw in terms of the breadth, the range of moves that he's going to use to attack opposing offensive linemen. But I do think when you start with the grit and the motor and the high energy, a guy that comes in ready to work, ready to take on any challenge, and a play. He spoke to a reporter, and he was like, a reporter asked, "Have you been yelled at already, or have you been coached?" He was like, "I don't mind that at all. I like things the hard way. I like to be coached up. It's not an issue in any kind of capacity. You handled it with grace and said, yeah, it happens, and you just move on to the next play and try to get better. That's the purpose, is to get to the point where you feel like you meet your potential." So he's got the right attitude all the way around. I had asked him what makes, after practice, I asked him, what makes the Lions something, a place based on the coaches or the first practices? What is it about this place that makes it so that you feel like it's a fit? And he said, and you'll get a chance to hear it later on in this video, he said that I like things gritty. He likes the idea of facing challenges and then being able to overcome them. He had a great moment with Dan Campbell. He said, "Hey, it's me." When he shook his hand, he said, "I don't want to take off the glove. I got to shake the hand of the popular Detroit Lions coach." And he just comes off as somebody ready to work. He seems like a Detroit Lion.
Your first meetings with coaches, your first time out here, just your early assessment of why this team could fit your personality and why the Lions are a fit for you.
Man, you're talking about grit. It's the grittiest team that, just persevering when the hard challenges come. And I'm that type of guy, just like when obstacles comes, I'm gonna rise to it. I'm not gonna fall down, So I'm just looking forward to that. Like I look for hardships. Like I want to get better at stuff. Because I don't want to take the easy way out. I want to earn everything. I don't want nothing to be given to me. I want to earn everything. Everything has to be earned. For how much is given, much is required. And they gave me so much. God gave me so much that I'm gonna do my best to just give back to my teammates.
The other thing that I really jotted down was the athleticism of the safety, Dan Jackson. You could tell the difference in athleticism and movement compared to others that are working their way into opportunities for the Lions. So I did think that when you look at, early camp work, it's just about getting into the right calls, seeing about, and the other thing too was the energy level of the coaching staff. You could see that Tashard Choice is going to bring the energy. You could see him, and potentially down the road, look to Lions on SI and hear the Lions on SI YouTube channel as we talk about Tashard Choice might have some things to say to Calvin Shepard from time to time. I did think that Tashard Choice and the energy that he brought, he did not want reps to go just wasted. If there was a fundamental technique that wasn't done right, boom, it was already addressed. And you could see the energy level that he brought with Calvin Shepard. And it was very impressive to see how you can see kind of why the Lions made the decision to bring Tashard Choice. because of the energy that it brings, the experience, and now we know clearly the relationship that he's got with Jahmyr Gibbs. Hopefully, is going to end up being fruitful. So, lots of opportunities. I wished we had a chance to see Tyleik Williams, but we didn't. And I do think that in further evaluations, we'll have opportunities to gain more knowledge as to what occurred, and pay attention to Jackson Lovett as well as a player that also had a nice catch. The undrafted free agent, I think, is going to make a name for himself. And also, too, Mason Miller, pay attention to him. He is an undrafted free agent out of North Dakota State. Clearly, the tie with the tight ends coach that's new from there probably saw the tape and said, okay, this is a player that can play all 5 positions along the offensive line. He's got some size, and he held his own against some. There was quite a bit of rushers early on to test the quarterback and to test the offensive line there. So he held his own. I thought that he was stout. I think he's got good footwork, but you do see that potentially, he's got some more work to do in regards to maintaining leverage against these bull rushers. It's tough, man. These defensive linemen are coming with great moves and coming in with opportunities to do their job. So I thought it was very impressive for a lot of the Detroit Lions. And you look at it and you say, okay, the work begins. And now this opportunity that the Detroit Lions have are going to be it's going to be very interesting to pay attention to. So I'm curious to see how the rookies shake out. And the undrafted free agent that I wanted to pay attention to, Jackson Meeks. I thought that he acclimated and looked like, okay, he has the ability to make some plays, make a name for himself. He had a nice catch. And Dominic Lovett, the 7th round pick, also had an opportunity to showcase his initial skills. A little bit undersized, but I think that his special teams contributions that is expected will be an avenue for him to play at a high level. So Jackson Meeks, pay attention to, and pay attention to Ahmed Hassanian as he continues his work. And I think that in a couple of weeks, we'll have more in regards to what we've seen out there on the field. So this was my early thoughts about the rookie minicamp. Tesla, Hassanian, and a couple undrafted free agents to pay attention to. I'm John Macaroon for Detroit Lions on SI.